I just got into it I was sort of like the biggest kid. They said, here, throw this, and it sort of started out with a vortex really. And Mum always used to laugh and tell the story that I just threw it over the top of the teacher's head.
G'day and welcome to Sinbun Passion Files. My name is Clancy Cinnamon, and today my guest is a World Youth Champion in Discus, a Commonwealth Games silver medalist in hammer throw, and he's even represented Australia at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games at just the age of 19. He's got his eyes firmly set on heading to Tokyo next year for the Olympic Games over there. His name is Matthew Denny. And I tell you what, Matthew has lived a life. From his early days growing up in rural Queensland, out in Allora, a small town on the Darling Downs, he's chased his dreams, he's followed his passion so aggressively, and I absolutely love it. His energy is so contagious, and I really enjoyed sitting down and having a chat with him. So without any further ado, please enjoy getting to know Matthew Denny.
All the throwers are very extremely talented and coordinated and athletic. There's so many parts that go into it that people don't realise. Like, I do gymnastics, like just for a part of the ability to balance and be aware of your body and have that sort of proprioception to move. And I just really love the challenge of trying to be the best and do something that other people haven't in the past, especially from Australia.
Now the Australian Matthew Denny.
It's a game of chess. You might go for one move and then the next move it's just completely changed and the whole game is different, and you know, it's just trying to piece all of those pieces of the puzzle together to get the right throw. You might be ready to go, technique's good and all that, but then your body doesn't show up for some random reason because you haven't put that last however long together. Some people it's 4 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever, of just into that single moment of performing at the right time, putting everything into the right moment to perform well at a major champs. PB 65.37 at the moment. Recently just threw 65.28 at the Australian Nationals. A little bit difference of the throw. So 2016 I threw my PB, which was 65.37 with a slight, like a decent wind, and wind usually helps the discus fly. It's like an aeroplane, so the more wind, the quicker the lift, the faster it's technically flying. So, you know, it just gives that extra lift for further distance. But this one I threw no conditions, just pure throw, no wind assistance. So that was a really big thing for me. And we think we're really due for even further soon. We always referred to as being farm strong. I was always an active kid. I always did a lot of sports. I was naturally just fit and strong and was able to do things, and then helping Dad out on the farm and lifting, you know, whatever it is, bales of hay, or, you know, just moving things about. It just sort of, that taught me how to be able to move things just in general. You're doing it over a long period of time, which makes you stronger. Your strength lasts longer because you do it over a long period of time. And yeah, I think that's why I've just been always strong, because I'm a bigger guy. Like, I have naturally more muscle and more size than the general person. So naturally I'm able to lift more than the average person. So that sort of started it, but it's also just commitment to lifting those big weights and not being scared of the bar sort of thing. And then, you know, with throwing and all that, it's all about commitment on how you do things, not being scared of what could happen, more be in the moment, attack it. If things go bad, whatever. You get to a major championships, you could be in world record form, but if you're a nutcase and can't handle the pressure, or you can't handle what you need to do in the moment to create the good performance, you're not going to be able to do it. So, you know, it depends on what situation you're in. If you have a good and depending on what side of mental you're talking about, like if you're talking about mental ability to deal with stress and cope within a high pressure situation in major championships, it's 100%, because you could be fit, but if you're not there ready to go and commit to the moment and not be scared of competitors and what could be, and being scared of what if I do this and scared of failure, then that's where you'll fall apart. That's where you won't become the athlete that you should be. But at the same time, if you want to be a good athlete and actually get to that moment in general, you need to have a good attitude to be able to commit to every training session, recover, do the right things, and not be a tool about it. You need to be level, you need to understand that you are an athlete, you are trying to get somewhere, but it's not all by yourself. You need help, you need to get, professional opinion, all that sort of stuff. You need to understand yourself, and like I have a sports psych and I understand my mental capacity on why I think this and why this happens and why this response, and you just teach yourself along the way. That's why a lot of the best athletes are always, a little bit more developed. For throwers, we're our peak age until we're about 28 to 32, because we've had all these years to, one, smash our craft and get it down pat, get strong, that maximum development of strength, and physiologically, like naturally, like you're at peak testosterone levels, your body's fully developed and ready to go. And then as well, you've learnt your mental capacity. You understand that these things can happen, but we call it being vulnerable to failure. So if you're open to failing, then 90% of the time you'll never lose, because you're not scared of that process. So if you're able to put yourself out there, that's where things happen. That's where athletes change their lives, and that's where athletes perform under pressure and really get things done. Leading up to Com Games, so I didn't put myself in the best position because some things went wrong and whatever, like that happens. But so to give context, so I fouled the first 2 throws in men's hammer at Com Games, and I needed to get this next throw in to, one, make the top 8 and get another 3, but also to actually just put a decent throw on the board. And I went back to my sports, so we were at the fence and we were just talking, and we weren't stressed. We knew, okay, well, this is not the situation that we wanted. And a lot of people would freak out, change everything, and like, oh, this has happened, so we need to change this. And people freak out and try and change the process to make themselves feel comfortable that they've made the changes that'll fix the problem. But instead of just trusting yourself that, you've done this for the last however long, just trust the process and commit to what your cues were. And we went back to it, and my sports psych said to me, and he just said, mate, it's all context, commit to the process, all about commitment. And yeah, I just went in there. It was funny because I was under so much pressure, but I didn't feel that. I actually felt more calmer walking into that throw on the 3rd round when everything was on the line than what I did in the first 2 rounds where there was nothing really to worry about. And I just walked in and I said, it's all context, it's the same circle, it's the same hammer, it's the same everything. Just commit to whatever your cue was. My cue was just to stay left. And I stayed left, and I just said, do this to the maximum of your ability and it will go fine. A lot of people think that you walk into a circle and you rock solid, you're not thinking about failure or whatever, or all this sort of stuff. But that's the thing, a lot of people need to understand that everyone has these thoughts. Everyone's like, don't think negative, and you should never think negative, always positive and all that sort of stuff. That's a lot of crap. Like you will, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, there will be negativity that runs through your brain at one point in time of your life, no matter what you do. And that's your natural response, because it's called fight or flight. If your body challenges something that is putting itself potentially in danger. And if I put myself into a high stress situation like I did at Commonwealth Games, naturally your body will go, I don't like this, this isn't comfortable for me. So then your body tries to fix the situation by overthinking. And and you have that in competition. Like I had plenty of times where after I did those 2 fouls, I walked out and I thought I could have a completely ruined Commonwealth Games because of these fouls, and like this could go wrong or this could go wrong. But it's about going, okay, yeah, thanks brain, like you've said this 1,000 times before, let's get on with it and get the job done. And that's what you need to do. It's called being a professional. You're never level, you're never always high, you're never always low. It's here. It's always flowing, ebbs and flows. And it's about controlling that, not having massive negatives and not having massive positives. It's by more you level it, the more consistent you understand yourself and where you are. World Youth Champs in Ukraine 2013, still at school, and in that throw, it was just go, like just go man, just go fast and just smack it. First round I missed a little, 3rd round I missed a little, and then 4th round just leveled it, just flushed it, perfect flight. And I just knew as soon as this came out, it was there, I knew it was gone, because you just feel all the tension in your body build up, and then you just slap the life out of it and see it fly perfect.
64-63 to start with, and a couple of poor throws. Whisked it round, he likes this one. So he should.
Well, that's way over 65 metres.
You can see that I knew immediately as soon as it came out of my hand, and I'm still the same today. Even in the session that we did tonight, like my best throw, I knew immediately when it left my hand. And you just know, because you've done it so much. You know, I've done probably over 100,000 throws in my life already, and you just know what's good and what's not.
It's Matthew Denny taking the gold with 67.54.
Just having the right amount of angle to not too much face, so it has heaps of drag, but enough tail up where it's cutting through and not flying too flat, sort of thing. So I think because I'm such a student of the sport, like I enjoy it so much on learning new things, why this person does this or why that person does that. I watch so many videos, and I love the moments that are created within throwing, because you know, the 100, you've got 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, whatever, to get that performance. But within throws, you can build up so much tension, and there's so much, you know, there's so much focus on what could happen. You know, okay, we've got 6 throws. Someone might have okay throw on the first 3 throws, and then that last 3, you know, he's got 3 chances that he could just level one and change the game. And I think that's why I really enjoy watching it, I enjoy learning about it, and I think that's why I don't sink into I'm the best at it, because I'm always seeking to get better at it, and whether I am the best or not, like I still want to improve. You know, like what I threw at World Championships, I still thought I could have thrown further at that time, because I did throw further in training. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just very endless in trying to improve just a little bit more. I think it's better to be naive to the fact that what you actually are, because if you sink too much into I'm the best, like no one can beat me, it's ridiculous, because you can always be beaten no matter who you are and what you do. 3 things. 1, trust yourself and commit to whatever you want to do. 2, put a process around you, so put a support group. Everyone always asks me, why do you say we? Why do you say we when I do like a performance or whatever? Because if it wasn't for having a coach, a sports psych, a strength and conditioning coach, a dietitian, a biomechanist, all these, and a physio and all these other things that can help me with my life, I would 100% not be at where I am. And that's what I mean, like I find that athletes get very self-indulged. Okay, yeah, you're a good athlete and you perform well, but if it wasn't for the knowledge that you accrue from your coach and from all these other professionals, you were just a reincarnation of what the knowledge of your peers are. So put a supportive process within yourself. 3, back yourself. Like number 1, it's just the same point twice. Back yourself. Just commit to whatever you want to do. I had a couple of teachers that said to me that, you know, you won't make the Olympics. It's one, you know, or a professional athlete in general. It's the 1%. And I love saying that it's actually 0.00001% of Australians make the Olympics. And it's a daunting thing, but if you want to do things that are different and to succeed at whatever you want to do, you have to be able to push through that. We made the circle on the 25th of July, 2011 at home. I flew out for the Olympics on the 25th of July 2016. How uncanny is that? I couldn't believe it. We had a going away thing in Allora where a lot of people came out and said good luck, and you know, we had a little bit of a celebratory thing of 1 getting selected but 2 being able to go. And Dad said that. I couldn't believe it. I teared up because I could not believe that. So when we made the circle, I wrote, you know, the date we made it. I wrote never give up on it, and I said Olympics, here we come. And right next to it, it's got the date on when we left. I couldn't believe that yeah, it was just the weirdest thing. It's just that's the thing. Like, you know, I set that in stone, and that was my goal, and that's what I wanted to do, and I did it, and it turned out on this. It's a weird story. So the 1%er, the 0.5%er, is to win. The expectation is to medal, and the mediocrity would be to make the final. So, you know, we have those three levels. We think things are to put it simply, things are progressing really well. Like, we're throwing out of our skin, we're progressing fast. We've made changes, and we're learning a lot of things from some other people with technical work, and you know, like, if you look at my technique now to 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 24 months ago, it's worlds apart. Like, my technique is now really so much more impressive than what it was, and I'm much stronger, but I'm not the strongest I've ever been, but I'm still throwing further because we're technically better. So we think that if we put these next 12 months together, well, I think it's 14 months until Tokyo, these next 14 months together perfectly, and just train the house down and stay uninjured and do the right things, we'll be fine. Like, we will do really, really well. If I have every major knocked off and achieved over 70 metres, I think that I'll have a really, really nice big bottle of whiskey. I've got it. No, it's funny. I've got a Johnny Walker Gold Label bottle. It's like the limited edition one with the gold wrap and all that sort of stuff. And I bought it after I qualified for Rio, and I said, okay, this is here. I'm not allowed to drink it until I win a major event. So every time that I can either medal or win, I'm able to have some of it. So hopefully by the time I'm finished, I'll finish the bottle.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, there you have it, Matthew Denny. What a champion. He seriously has done so well for himself, and clearly done it with a lot of passion, because I'm no expert on throwing inanimate objects, but I feel as though it would take a lot of passion. It wouldn't be for the unenthused, that's for sure. So yeah, good on you, Matt, and all the best heading into 2020 in Tokyo. I'll be one of your biggest fans. Yeah, really cannot wait to see how you go over there, mate. So thanks again for sitting down and having a chat with me. If you'd like to hear the full chat that I had with Matthew, you'll find the link for that down in the description. And while we're down in the description, make sure you check out Matthew's social media pages there, because he'll post updates and keep us all in the loop as to how he goes in the lead up and during next year's Olympic Games. I cannot wait. May as well give myself a plug. Sinbun96 on Instagram, make sure you check that out. And I'd be super grateful if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment down below if you've got any questions. But other than that, I'll be talking to you and seeing you soon. Cheers.